Professor Silly Tie here, all by myself right now because Frankie's on a long distance phone call with his Uncle Buck from the bayou, but he hopes to join us in a couple minutes. Anyway, we're talking today about forgiveness. Forgiving somebody for something that they did against you that either hurt you or made you feel bad or made a negative outcome of some sort. Forgiveness is really hard, but man, it is so important because forgiveness is almost like holding on to something that hurts you more than it hurts the person that you're not forgiving. So I would say it's one of those things where...
Bucky, I'm afraid this conversation is over. Bye-bye, Professor.
What?
I am in a tizzy. My Uncle Bucky, see?
Yeah?
He knows exactly how to exacerbate my exasperation.
That's a lot of exasperating. What happened?
Well, they say good things come in threes. Well, in this case, I think pretty crummy things came in threes.
What happened?
Well, see, my Uncle Buck, strike one, forgot my birthday. Didn't even sing happy birthday to old Frankie.
Oh,
Didn't send me a card. Said he didn't, but he didn't.
that's
He
hurtful.
didn't.
I'm sorry.
Strike one. Strike two, he took my homework.
Oh.
And he put someone else's name on it so I wouldn't get the credit for it.
Oh.
It was a long story I had written about my animal behavior class.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did he get in trouble? Did you get in trouble?
I had to redo my essay
Oh.
on shrimp behavior.
Right.
Luckily, it's all up here, but I still had to redo it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then, you know what he just did?
I can't guess.
He called just to stir up the pot a little bit.
What do you mean?
He said to me, "Dear Frankie,
You said dear Frankie on the phone?
dear Frankie, shrimp ain't good. And you wrong for thinking they're good. And you don't even know how to fish shrimp very well."
Oh dear.
But
That was
then
just a conversation you just had?
I don't know how it escalated to that, but it did.
Oh.
I
hurtful.
am in a tizzy.
You look tizzied. Well, okay, well let's just back up a little bit. So the first time that he forgot your birthday, like, did he feel bad about that? Did he apologize?
He did not feel bad. I mean, he said sorry afterwards, but at first he didn't feel bad, but then he did say sorry.
So he came around.
He did.
So did you forgive him?
Should I?
Yes. Did you forgive him?
Well, yes. I mean, it's important to forgive someone and get on their good terms and get them on our good terms too.
So
I did.
You got over it. That's good. That's big of you. What about the second time with the homework? Did you forgive him for taking your homework and getting you?
I did, and he kind of said he wouldn't do that again. So
that make you feel better at least?
what's a cousin supposed to do when he says you ain't gonna do that again? A cousin's gotta forgive an uncle.
Well, you should. You don't have to, but it's better. Did you feel better after you forgave him again the second time?
I did.
Did you make up?
I felt better.
Right?
I felt better.
That's good. Well, I'm just bringing that up because, frankly, I know this is hard to hear, but you're actually supposed to forgive over and over to people. Jesus actually said in the Bible...
Like 2 times to Uncle Bucky?
It's not. It's actually...
2 times.
Jesus gave the example of 70 times 7, which is
70
a lot
times
of
7? That sounds like about 1.5 million.
490. But he doesn't really mean 490. He just means, you know what? The loving thing to do is to see that none of us are perfect and forgive the people around you. Because if you hold in the anger, like if you kept in all that anger about him saying that you're not a good shrimp fisher person, or that, you know, could have held on to that whole test assignment thing, you would just get angrier inside and it would hurt you more. Actually, I have a visual. Just give me 1 second. Think about what I'm saying, okay?
490 is kind of like a metaphor for never ending.
Okay. Look, this is gonna help. Okay. This is what, Frankie? You know what this
Is that a Pez dispenser?
Yes, you have like 84 of these.
Wow.
Inside a Pez dispenser is not just one candy, is there? There's not just one candy when you take Pez. Do you want that Pez? You deserve it. Do you want the Pez candy?
Oh, sure, Professor.
Let's say every time someone does something wrong to you, and then you forgive them. It's like taking out a Pez. You open up, and there's another one inside.
And you just forgive again and you take the Pez?
That's right, which means you can forgive again.
Forgive
and then
again.
if your uncle does something annoying again, but he apologizes, if you don't forgive, you don't get the candy because it's going to hurt you way more by not forgiving. So you forgave your uncle. There's another one. The first time for the birthday. Then another one, you forgave your uncle again for the assignment. And guess what? You're not out of Pez. And in fact, frankly, we should have Pez's and Pez's and Pez's and refills all the time to do more forgiveness.
Well, perhaps, Professor, it's also like endless shrimp.
No, it's not like
Just like endless shrimp.
No.
When you forgive,
Let's get back to the
you
Pez.
get more shrimp.
No, it's
Never
more
ending.
like the Pez because the Pez you can't see what's left, but our forgiveness it just keeps coming. So this Pez, this last Pez right now, before I fill it up again, is for you to call back your uncle, and you say, "Uncle, I forgive you for not being very nice." Do you think you can do that? If you can't, you don't get the Pez.
Could we put a shrimp in the Pez?
No, we don't want it to smell.
Shrimp
All right,
dispenser?
so kids, pretend like you have an endless Pez supply, not of candy, but of love and forgiveness to the people around you. And it's hard to forgive sometimes, but it's going to be better for you. And the love of God will be living in your heart as opposed to anger in your heart. What do you think, Frankie? You think you can handle it?
I think I better call Uncle Bucky and bury the hatchet, so to speak.
Yeah, you'll feel better when you do.
Maybe it's just the shrimp talking. Or maybe it's me. Or maybe it's you, Professor.
Well, maybe.
But I think you have a point.
I do. It's Jesus'
Again.
point. That's not my point. Anyway, kids, that's it for this week. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, Upstream.
Bye.
Keep on forgiving.